AOA podcast, back for another episode, Monday show. Oh my goodness, we have a whole world of things to discuss, including these horrific and shocking photos released by the Department of Justice regarding Cassie Ventura and the Diddy case. Plus, we've got more on the FBI leaders on Epstein's death. Yes, sweetheart. What's the matter? Okay. Okay, you got to go to sleep. Go to sleep. I will tell. I'll be in there in a minute. Tell him to stop. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Close the door. Thank you. What other podcast has an interruption into the intro from children? I mean, this is one of a kind. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting this from Ben Shapiro. You're not getting this from Megan Fox Kelly. Who's the Kelly? They're not doing that kind of stuff. You never see their kids running and spoil something. Oh, kids. Exactly. Thank you, Diddy. Did you see the moment that I tried to get her to go away? I fought it. Big brothers, they could be annoying. That's the problem. Oh, thank you, Christella. That's very appreciative of you. Anyway, back to our little rundown here. FBI leaders on Epstein's death. I could not believe the FBI director, deputy director, speaking about Epstein's passing. This is shocking. Biden's cancer diagnosis, talking about shock. I don't know, out of those three leads, what's the most shocking thing? Because they're all pretty jaw-dropping, all of these things. More stories just coming out about Meghan Markle. Listen, I'm not manifesting any of this. I am not going into her yard looking to start a fight. These are all just coming across your old pal Ant's desk, okay? These are stories. We'll comment and talk about them. We'll keep our eye on that whole situation with Meghan Markle up and until the podcast and the Netflix show gets canceled. And then we will leave her on the side of the road where she belongs. Talk about romance excitement. Is Rock Boebert dating Kid Rock? I mean, again, in America, we don't have a king and a queen. We don't have a prince and a princess. If we were, I would say that would be the president and the first lady, or eventually, hopefully one day, Madam President and the first gentleman would be the king and the queen. And then will we have a prince and princess? We would, if this turns out to be true. Kid Rock and Rock Boebert would be the prince and princess of the United States of America. This would be a white trash wedding made in heaven. Like, I couldn't even imagine just the Budweiser and shotguns that would coexist with the planning of those nuptials. Just the thought of it excites me greatly. That I hope it's true. Oh, just for the podcast numbers, we need a Boebert and Kid Rock dating thing. We need it in 2025, not just for podcast numbers too, by the way, just for all of our sanity. And we will do another review. Season 2, episode 6 of The Last of Us. We'll end the show on that. What an amazing emotional roller coaster ride this season has been so far. And episode 6, and I'm not afraid to say this, I almost cried. Like, Cuddles was crying. I was almost there. That show is just unbelievable. It's the greatest show we have on television right now. All that and more coming up on this episode. Go, Gadget, go. Oh, the roadkill. Could you imagine all the roadkill at the Boebert Rock wedding? That would be just amazing. That would just be fantastic. And we have on this tray just a lovely can of peas with the freshest roadkill and a little sprinkle of caviar on top, for everybody's enjoyment. Who's that crazy person in his underwear shooting over there in the distance? That's Kid Rock's dad. Don't worry about that. He'll be fine. Just don't look him directly in the eye. That's not a big deal. Let's not pay any attention to that. Oh, it would be, the trailer parks, just the whole thing. Don't worry. When we get up to the season 2, episode 6 review, we'll put it on the screen. We'll let everybody know about the spoilers, so you don't have to watch that portion of the show. But that'll basically be the end of the old program there. Let's go to the Diddy trial. This is, believe it or not, week 2, day 1 of week 2. It's the first week of the Diddy trial was 9 weeks long. It was amazing. There was so much stuff to process and go through. There was just a lot involved. But as far as today goes in the courtroom, lots of things happened, which we will go over. But one thing that we discussed last week was the fact that they cleared the courtroom and they showed some videos and some photos to the jury last week. If you remember, that happened, and nobody saw it. No, obviously they cleared the courtroom. Today, much to my surprise, they just released some of these photographs of Cassie Ventura that had her, basically in court. That, I mean, how does this not move a jury to see what this poor woman had to go through? It's utterly absurd. And we'll go through all of them. I'll pop the pictures up here for you guys to see them, but we're talking about bruising on her back. We're talking about just, eyebrow just split wide open, bruises on her legs. There's a lot of government exhibits that were released. We'll share you some of the most chilling ones right now. I'll bring that up on the screen for everybody. You have to go to sleep, sweetheart. You have to go to sleep. You got to go to sleep. You have to go. Cece, go to sleep. I'll be in a minute to yell at him. Okay. I love you. Thank you. She scared the shit out of me. My daughter just scared the crap out of me. She was just sitting. I got to watch the show on replay now to see, because I think I shit myself just now. Did I look scared when I turned around and caught? Was that funny to everybody? Because in my mind, that might have been like, I think I got to go check my underwear. I've got to go check my underwear. That was scary. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay. So Cassie Ventura. Okay. I had just a mini heart attack just now, just a mini heart attack. Anyway, they put these photos out, and they're chilling. They're chilling. I don't know how they don't lock this guy up like immediately. This is why I can't be on a jury, though, by the way, because I'm a sucker. I'll fall for anything. Not that I think she's lying, but when you see stuff like this, you go, this guy belongs behind bars. And then, you have the defense out there, and the defense's position on this is basically like, well, just because he was violent doesn't mean he was running a sex trafficking ring. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess if that's what you're going with. So here's the first image, and this is basically her just with like a huge set of glasses. And they showed this to just illustrate how she covers up some of the injuries. The second photo you'll see there is just look at the big. She's got a hard-boiled egg on the top, big knot over her eye, which has basically been split open. Lord knows what she was hit with on that instance. By the way, this wasn't the first time. They do show another photo, which, again, I don't want to be over the top, but there's another photo of her with another eye injury, which is clearly not this one that you're seeing on your screens right now. She did show this leg bruise that she had right here. As you could see, she's pointing to that. And then this other one of a big bruise just in the lower back, basically her upper buttock, of, another pretty deep and dark bruise. And it's crazy. Like, you read these things about abusers, and they're like pros about body shots. Like, I don't remember when I learned this, but they love to hit in the body because it's easy to cover up. That usually if there's some sort of a facial whatever, it's like they were beyond, like, they were crazed, right? They lost it. They couldn't handle it. Like, usually an abuser, if they have some sort of emotional control, which usually they're losing a little bit of that, right? If they're doing these things, they're keeping it to the body. When they totally lose it, it goes to the face. So there's a couple, and the eyes seem to be a thing too, right? It's a weird thing The eyes seem to be a thing. It's like they have an instinct that they can stick a person in a pair of sunglasses for a little while. But you look at all this stuff that she's gone through, and then you hear some of the stories. Like what's her name was in court today, and she continued to testify. The girl who was in Danity Kane there, Dawn, and she was up there recounting the story about how he came down and Cassie was cooking eggs and the eggs weren't ready, and he took the frying pan and smacked her in the face with the frying pan, and then threatened her and some other person, which is basically like what you saw there was just like a passionate relationship. It's like, no, that's not okay, dude. That's not okay. And the defense got Dawn on the stand, and they were trying to be like, well, you took the money and all this stuff, you witnessed this and you didn't do anything about it. They try and destroy these witnesses' credibility. And it's like Dawn Richard was threatened. She basically said, like, somebody sits in a room with you, a powerful person like Diddy, and goes, we're a family. These things happen in family. You don't say anything to anybody. And speaks to you. And then with all the other things you've seen, like, I understand why these women were like, oh shit, this guy can really, this guy might be able to fuck me up here. Like, I might be really in danger. All bets go out the window when you feel a threat to yourself. We all want to think we're the type of people that would step in and help somebody. I'm sitting here thinking that right now. I would have said something, right? We're all going to think that. But the reality is once these people put a little bit of that, just a little, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to kill you if you say something. It could be like, hey, we're family. We don't do that to each other. We look out for each other. Here's some money. What you just witnessed was passion. You want to get paid for the rest of it. On top of this too, you have artists. Think about all these people who just clawing at their dream for years and years and years, practicing their craft, writing songs, singing practice, lessons, trying to get better, all this stuff. And then you finally get your little bit of a break, and the person who's giving it to you is is abusing it. Like, think about how terrible of a hand that is to be dealt. It's hard enough to make it in the music business. Now you got to make it on the back of some piece of shit who's abusing other people, and you got to stand up to them while your life and your career is threatened. I mean, put this guy behind bars already. I'm ready to wrap this friggin' case up. I'm not gonna lie, ready to wrap it up, baby. I've seen all I need to see. Thankfully, though, we have a justice system that is a little bit more diligent than that, which it should be. It should be. But the whole thing just stinks. Especially when you look at the bruising and everything else that this woman had to endure, and all these other women and everything else, trying to see if there's anything else here from Dawn Richards' testimony today. The defense contended that Combs was at times jealous, had substance abuse issues, and described his relationship with Ventura as mutually violent. Oh, that's the other thing. Blaming her too, right? That helps. Mutually violent. As opposed to the head of an organized criminal enterprise, they also argued that the women consented to the sexual arrangements. They tried to show, when they had Cassie up there, they tried to show that she organized one of the freak-offs. Like, that was one of the tests, that was some of the testimony that they got, was that there was like a text exchange between Diddy and her, and it was like, and he said to her, well, you put it together. Give me, you tell me what you want. And surprise, surprise, she puts together basically what he's been grooming her to know and feel. And we're supposed to act like, oh, because she organized one of these things, that makes it okay. She could have organized like 5 of them. If you've been abusing a young woman like this for like 5 years, and then in the 5th year, she's like, well, let me do, an abuser like makes it seem sometimes like their abusee has some power. Like, that's part of their bizarre weirdo dynamic. and somebody who's getting abused, all they want to do is please their abuser sometimes. So this whole idea of like she reached out and she decided to organize a thing, that takes away no credibility from me, from her, on that he did all these things and he took advantage of the power situation and he's an organized criminal. Because again, how is she supposed to feel after years and years of mental and physical abuse in this relationship? After all she'd seen, that's gonna fuck. Listen, I know people. Listen. I'm well aware. I'm like a sexually boring person. Okay, I'm well aware that people love the old swaparooski and people like watching other people. I feel like in the last 2 years, again, we've become like cuck central on this podcast. So I'm more aware now than I ever have been that this is like a thing that people like. Okay. But if you're indoctrinating somebody into that kind of a lifestyle at a young age and they just don't know any better, they're just going to assume these are the norms and this is what it takes. And then again, especially when you add artists on top of that with, their dreams and everything being within, they're just all going to look at that like, oh, okay. They're going to look at that like this is just what it takes. I can't tell you how poorly, let me say that I know that I am no Cassie Ventura, okay? And I didn't deal with people as horrible as Diddy. But just in trying to get on the radio, the amount of pride swallowing things that I had to do and ass kissing and maneuvering and just like, again, just things that no person, horrific things said to me and just really just shitty, just being treated shitty for years, being treated like I'm a second-class citizen, all this stuff just to be on the radio. And I was just like, hey, whatever. Like I would tell people stories, things that were said to me, things that were done to me over the course of my career. And people would be like, well, what did HR say? And I'd be like, what? In radio? HR doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. That's a fallacy. That's not a thing in radio, in talk entertainment. Doesn't exist. It was just what you had to do to get by. And you know what's funny about that? I tell older people and they're like, but you tell like a 30 or 20-year-old now, I'll share like a story with like a younger person and they're like, oh my God, why did you go through that? People talk to me the way the tone that I give to Diddy victims or Weinstein victims, like how I feel, like how sorry I feel for them and the sympathy, the empathy that they get from me. That's what I get sometimes when I tell younger people what I went through. I'm like, I don't think it was that bad. And they're like, no, that was pretty horrible. Like people shouldn't be talking to you that way. And I do have that like, yeah, but I was trying to build a career, you ask any athlete or anybody else, lawyers, but God knows everybody's got to go through that kind of shit. I just think it's multiplied by 1,000 when it comes to the entertainment industry, when it comes to singers, especially the music business, especially. I mean, it's a tight race between the music industry and, movies and TV industry. Those are all real scumbaggy areas. Lots of shitty people tend to hang around in those areas. Lots of shitty gatekeepers. Under cross-examination, Dawn Richard faced questions about her memory of the assaults and her personal motives. At the start of her testimony on Friday afternoon, Richard testified that she saw Combs assault Ventura in the kitchen over the egg cooking incident, like I was just saying. Saying where he comes from, people go missing if they talk like that, is what she testified on what Diddy said. Defense attorney Nicole Westmoreland suggested Richard's account of the kitchen incident and its aftermath, which changed over time. Richard says she recounted it over time to the best of her recollection. At 42 years old, she signed with Bad Boy in 2004 to 2011. She was part of two musical groups, Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money. She testified that she felt saddened about the whole thing, but basically the defense was like asking her if she filed a lawsuit against Combs to get a lot of money. Richard denied that, but said she wants to be compensated for the work that she put forth. So that was the other part of it. Like, hey, the story's changed over time. And then it was like, well, you're suing, as if, and she's basically like, hey, I was in his employ for 7 years. I want to get paid for that time. Is basically her, her take on it. I have to go back a couple comments ago because Christella had me hysterical when I said I would lock this case up right now. And she said, fry him. I think that's a my cousin Vinny reference. Correct me if I'm wrong. Fram. I love that lady from the jury. That's me. That would be me. Like, Fram, I'm good. I wouldn't have the wonderful, charming Southern accent that she had, but still, I'm following her mentality. I dig her style. She's just like, well, yeah, guilty. Seems very, very guilty to me. Photos are heartbreaking. Hate to see that. But I think it's necessary when you're trying to put on a case like this, basically, Let's roll on over to this shocking revelation made on Fox News. Where else do you get a good old Fox News story? But they were talking to Kash Patel, who looks like he is just high on cocaine all the time. Like, that dude's eyes are like this. Like, he is this intense, like, all the time. It's like, did they just show him something? Did he see something scary when he was 4 and just get stuck like this? Because that's what my dad always said. If I cross my eyes, I get stuck like that. And then it was like, oh, I'm thinking that's what happened to him. He's just like, because they're just talking to him like, Kash Patel, what do you think about this? He's like, well, actually, I've been looking into it. And it's like, all right, calm down. I couldn't interview him. I would just be like, can you put on sunglasses? Because this is distracting. Your eyes are too. I never noticed this about him before. I feel like I've seen him and there's been photographs and shit like that, but I don't know. There's something about it that's a little. It took me for a loop. Anyway, they were talking to Maria Bartiromo, who's really been good with Fox. I feel like Maria Bartiromo has been expanding. She's really been out there a lot. But Maria Bartiromo was talking with Dan Bongino. How do you say his name? I've never gotten her right. And Kash Patel, old big eyes Kash Patel. And they were discussing a bunch of things. It was a lot. But one of the things that came up was the Epstein thing. And they both go, I've seen the evidence. I was a little surprised with this. They're like, I've seen the evidence. That dude killed himself. And I'm like, this is supposed to be the administration that was going to reveal the truth. Right? Remember day one, they were going to put the whole thing out there for everybody, not hiding anything. Right? Then they took us for the sham. They grabbed headlines that one day with the stupid binders. That was nothingness. If you remember that whole part of it. And now we're at a point where it's like, they're talking about clearly the biggest cover up like ever and biggest conspiracy theory out there. And they're like, yeah, no, I read all the things. It's, yeah, definitely killed himself. Like, I don't know how anybody in their right mind goes through those files and decides that a person could actually hang themselves from a 6-foot tall structure with bed sheets where they could clearly touch the floor. And wait till I play the clip for you. You got to see Danny Boy. He's all like, I've seen it and people are going to see it, which I don't believe. But they're like, it's like, it's out there. Like, it's, it's clear conclusion. And I'm like, how the fuck? How are you going to be like, oh, this was a clear, this was a clear, Like, no doubt about it. Like, we got it. Like, nothing to worry about here. And Cash Patel's over there like, he's telling the truth. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? So they were talking about January 6th, and that sort of rolls into like the conspiracy theory thing, and then the whole, Jeffrey Epstein thing. Let's pick it up here. Let me see. This I screwed up. I had this queued up.
That, but go play the videotape and look for this material coming to Congress.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have.
Look at these eyes. Well, actually, I read everything, and it looks like for sure that he did it. Clearly, I'm not winking. Has he blinked once? Sorry, I shouldn't.
A right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to get, I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work, but you promoted Stephen Jensen, the architect of the FBI's overzealous.
It's just weird how Dan jumps right in with like, yeah, for sure, this is what happened. Like, this is like, there's no doubt about it. I don't know. I would love to see that file. And I would love to see what was so open and shut case that they can just be out there. I don't know, man. I don't know. And the Republicans, they've got to be like, this has got to be, not that they got to go out there and lie to people. But if you voted for Trump, which a lot of people did, because he was going to expose the truth on everything, you got to be sitting here on May 19th going, we were really sold a bill of goods there. It wasn't surprising to me. I mean, I don't believe any politician with anything. But a lot of people bought into a lot of his stuff, and this was part of it, right? Transparency, and we're going to move forward and release everything. And now they're just like, yeah, no, he definitely. Where is it? Well, you're going to see it soon. Okay. Holding my breath. I am holding my breath as long as it takes. I'm holding my breath as long as Cash Patel's eyes are wide. That's how I'm holding my breath right now. I don't know how you could trust anybody that's like, trust me, I'm telling you the truth. I read the whole file. I've been in everything, and I swear to you. Sorry. I know. I don't know if this is horrible or not, but I just feel like all I see when I look at that guy is like, I feel like that was in one of the Pixar movies where one of the characters was like always like had this intense look on their eyes. That's all I see when I see Cash Patel. Well, maybe I'm thinking of Mr. Potato Head. I don't know. I'm not sure. We did watch Toy Story 3 over the weekend, where that was a tearjerker. That's a tough one to watch. I cry over Toy Story now. I don't know what happened to me. I used to be a person. I used to be a man without feelings. Now I'm just a big ball of mush. But anyway, the two of them sit there. I mean, even if, I don't know. I would have probably stuck with the first thing that Cash Patel said, which was, I'll let everybody decide for themselves. But I don't know how you read that. I don't know how you read a thing that's like, oh, this like 6 foot tall guy hung himself in a 6 foot tall space with a bed sheet off of a fucking bunk bed that he basically could have just put his feet down, but somehow he managed to not get his feet down and not lean on the second level of the bed or the floor and hang himself with bed sheets. I don't know. I would love to know what they've read, what they've seen, because none of it makes any sense. The cameras going out, the security guards copping to negligence, the checks that didn't happen, all the bed sheets, the extra bed, all the things that led up to this. And these two guys are like, yeah, believe me, we for sure it happened. What's going on here? What is happening? I mean, if you were one of these Q truth seekers, you've got to be awfully worried because, again, this is your knight in shining armor administration. And here's the two leaders of the FBI going, nope, it's exactly how the last people told you it happened. It happened. I'm sorry, but that's uncomfortable. I don't really see a lot of transparency there. None whatsoever. So the January 6th stuff, which is going to reveal all sorts of new information for us, right? Oh, the January 6th stuff is going to release new information on the FBI's involvement in January 6th. And Maria Bartiromo basically said to them, were they people involved? And they played some word game about, well, there's a difference between an agent and an asset. So I think they're basically going to tell us FBI assets were involved, but not agents. I don't know about that either. I don't know about that either, but you can never convince me that that guy took his own life without any sort of help, assistance, physical or drugs or whatever, with the help of another person. There's just no way. There's just no way. And I don't care how wide open you make your eyes. I'm never going to believe it. I didn't believe the last bunch of people, and I don't believe this bunch of people. And speaking of weird conspiracy theories, over the weekend, we got, I don't think it was Friday. I think it was, I can't remember now. It doesn't matter. But we got word that President Biden has prostate cancer. And then he's got prostate cancer, and it's aggressive in a late stage, and it's already spread to his bones. And then became the questions of, where were all those physicals and doctor's appointments that he was going to, where he was getting clean bills of health? You know, where his mental capacity was being tested and his physical abilities and everything. And everybody was like, no, it's great. Well, Friday, they found a small nodule on his prostate. And then they realized the cancer had spread to the bones and everything else. And now you got everybody going, was it the doctors? Is this all just a part of the Biden cover up? Like, add it to the list of things the old Biden family was covering up. You know, were they keeping this quiet? Because it's awfully strange. Here's what's really weird. He does The View on like Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it was. And then we get this news on Friday. That doesn't even make sense to me. And I don't even have a theory here. It's just none of this feels comfortable or right or correct or anything else. Is it uncomfortable as a J Sabs intro? Am I right, J Sabs?
Oh, I mean, this just screams lies. It's very strange. First of all, prostate cancer is one of the easily diagnosed cancers. It is.
Because like 9 out of 10 men get it. That's why. It's like we're all
Right.
getting it.
Or even like prostate problems. So like, why? And it spread to his bones. So did they stage it yet or no? I didn't really pay too much attention.
I want to say it was, I think they described it as a late stage.
Right. So it spread to his bones. So
Oh, this was it. They gave it a Gleason grade 9, which
okay.
is a severe version. I don't know if they've given us a stage yet, but it's I remember they gave it a Gleason score of 9, which I think is not good.
So that's J Sabs wants to probe his prostate. It's just very strange. Like you said, he was on The View, said nothing, and then they announce it, and it spread to his bones. Like, I'm sorry, they would know that. I think that they knew this for a long time already.
Yeah, you have to assume it. I mean, I don't know how you don't. I mean, it's almost better to assume they knew and kept it quiet.
Yep.
Than White House presidential physicians missed it.
Right.
That's worse to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And even Trump today, who I give him credit because I fully thought he was going to be like, yeah, fuck that guy. You know, you can't put it past him. I mean, I wouldn't bet on that he would do that, but I wouldn't bet against it. But even he was like, well, Walter Reed's filled with exquisite doctors, so I don't know what happened there.
Yes, so strange, very strange. I don't know. Conspiracy theories are flying.
because you would have to assume that he knew prior to deciding to run for re-election. Again,
Yes.
this isn't something that pops up and gets to this level within a couple of months.
Right.
Like
Right.
this is like a year plus in the making.
Exactly. So
And from what I can say to back up what you just said, everybody says in PSA levels, this would have been so easy to detect that was going
exactly.
on.
Yep.
So he had to be hiding it from us. And it makes a lot of sense because, now Jake Tapper, this fucking asshole, now he's got a book. It's so funny. He was one of the people screaming at guests, don't talk about Biden's cognitive ability. And now he's got a book out talking about how shitty it all really was. So he switched sides very quickly to cash in on
Yeah,
a book
really.
deal.
Right.
But anyway, he was saying, what was that? What did I just start saying there? I already lost my train of thought.
I don't know.
The fuck was that? You weren't even listening to me. That's great. I love that.
No, I always do.
Jay said somebody has to. Somebody's got to keep track of all this. Anyway, the point I was going to make there was they would have known prior to the election if they were really, that's what I was going to say. This is another thing that he was keeping a secret.
Well,
and I think,
right.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, or at least before he backed out.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think he knew before he decided to really make a go of it, because
Yep.
it wasn't until that last year where everybody was kind of like, "Hey, you running? You're not running." I think it was like 16 or 18 months beforehand where he was like, I think I'm gonna run again. And then people still weren't like really sure. And then it was like a year, and then he's like, no, I'm definitely not going anywhere. Before people. But what I was gonna say was, it becomes easy. The fifth lie is easier than the third lie.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're already hiding his cognitive ability, what's a cancer diagnosis? Like, if it was up to the people in charge, and I don't begrudge them for this because the Republicans are just as guilty as the Democrats in this particular scenario. If they had to lie to cover something up to win a re-election, only to have him drop dead the day after inauguration and have her take over so that their shitty party can keep power, that is absolutely something that they would have done, and both parties would be doing if they could.
Oh yeah, they're in politics.
Because they're in politics. It's keep power at whatever means necessary. And that's why Democrats still have a problem to this day figuring out and realizing what just took place in 2024 and how they lost to Donald Trump.
Right.
It's shit like this. It's easy for you to discount the flaws on your own team. People just look right over it like, that's not big of a deal. This is a big deal. But no, that's a big deal to people. And this is just another example as it all starts to come out and unfurl that, we don't really know who was running the country here. While he was, while he was in those later days, while he was having those confusing days, Jake Tapper in his book said that people knew well into like year 2 or 3 that they couldn't call him up with a problem at 2:00 in the morning. He wasn't going to be a president that would be able to get up and function cognitively and handle an answer in the middle of the night. They had to wait till the next morning.
Right. Well, it's very strange. All of it is weird.
It's really weird. It's really weird. And it's like, why are you on The View?
Yeah, I know.
I remember when Biden won and Trump lost, and I was like, Trump's just got to go away it's got to be a year and a half before we hear from Trump. And I expected the same thing from Biden. I didn't think he would be out talking so soon. So it's like, it's just painfully obvious to me. Are you just playing the game? Do you know this book and all this stuff is coming out? So you go on The View, or they'll handle you with care, and all the people who love you will see the clips and go, see, he was a good guy for us, and not read all the stuff that was really happening.
True. It's just very, I don't know. There's a lot of words about it.
Very suspect. Very sus.
Sus.
I don't know if we're gonna get down to the bottom of it, but what do you think? The doctors just didn't know, or you think they were just covering it up?
I think they were 100% covering it up.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because when you get older as a man, you know, since I know so much about penises,
Well, older men, I was going to say, but yeah, go ahead.
and older men and penises and older penises. You know, a lot of men have prostate problems, so they will check you. Like you're supposed to go for that test every year anyway. I think once you turn, is it 45 now or 50? I
Mhm.
forget. So, like, if there's like a peeing problem, which I'm sorry to say, but 9 out of 10 men get, they're gonna check for that too. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure he didn't. You know what the thing is? He probably wore here. This just proves my point. He wore a diaper, so he had no idea he didn't. He never, when he actually had to pee.
That's true. Sometimes when I pee, I stop. I stop peeing. I pee so much. Can you ask your husband? Does he ever pee so much? Let's make a poll. All the men in the
Oh
in the
boy, here we
chat.
go.
Do you ever pee so much that it stops, and then you pee a little bit more?
You should go get your prostate checked.
I should get my prostate checked, right? Is that bad?
Bend over.
I don't want to get a finger up my butt.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to.
There's no other way to do that by now.
There is. I'm sorry to say there is not.
There should be a way. Robin, was that a yes to my wait, Italian men suffer less. Oh, I don't know. Robin, were you saying yes to my pee pausing? Who deals with pee pausing? Sometimes I drink so much water in a day that's like sometimes it's like I don't know if it's my prostate or whatever, but it like takes a breath. Like as I'm peeing, it like it needs to catch its breath to keep going. I think Robin's giving me a yes. All right. Robin's see sometimes. Okay, thank you. Yeah. All right.
See?
I don't want to get a finger up my butt. There's got to be. How can we can look at a baby inside somebody's stomach? We can't take a look at the prostate that way too. We can't get a little.
I'm sorry, kid.
They can't put a little lube on my ass cheek and put one of those things on there and just see it for themselves.
You men go through nothing compared to us women, so shut the fuck.
It's a good point. It is a good point, but it's still a big deal to us, that prostate exam. I don't know. I feel like a little ultrasound to the taint should do the trick. Is that where I don't even know where the prostate is. I know it's down there somewhere. I don't know the exact location.
I'll tell Dee to show you.
Please don't. That's funny, Robin. I asked my doctor if he wanted his watch back. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of. Prostate check is the new foreplay. Expand your horizons, Aunt. Yeah, I wish I could. Ask for Dr. Sausage Fingers. Yeah, I've heard that's a problem. Doctors having big, thick fingers. Yeah. You got to go to a female for several reasons. And one of them being skinnier fingers is basically the main one. I got a Chinese woman doctor. Do you know how small those fingers are? It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice and easy. I think I'm not gonna have any problems.
You're gonna have to put 2 fingers in.
Hey Doc, I don't feel anything. Could you put a second finger? Use 2 fingers. Oh shit. All right, ask the roommate if he has those issues too, and get back to me on that.
If he has to, go ahead, say it again.
When I pee sometimes like if it's like a long pee, there'll be a little pause and then it'll be a finish.
I think that's normal, but what do I know? I don't have a tube like you guys do.
Yeah, I think if you struggle to pee, like if you can't get it all out, that's really bad. Or if there's like a long pause and it takes a while for the rest of it to come.
That's what she said.
Yeah, somebody back me up on this because I can't go to a real doctor. I need to rely on people who hear this on the podcast.
J-Sebs and a podcast. Just go to Reddit. They always have the answers.
I know. I should. Reddit's pretty good.
Hold on. Keep talking because I have to put the other one to sleep now.
Okay, good. You do your thing. Meghan Markle. Oh my God. 2 things. You got 2 new Meghan Markle updates. And again, I didn't ask for this. I'm not the one writing books, okay? But it comes across your old pal Ant's desk. I'm going to talk about it. 2 instances where Meghan Markle, again, is just a gigantic, huge chunk of horse shit. She was friends with this guy who runs Vogue in Britain. That's a pretty big deal. I don't know if you guys know this. Let me give you some fashion advice. And this is coming from a person who knows everything based on The Devil Wears Prada. British Vogue is a big deal. It's not as big as American Vogue, right? That's major leagues. British Vogue is like AAA. You know, it's kind of a big deal. People like, you know, this is fucking hilarious from Robin. Try being standing up there. I'm going to try that. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm definitely going to try that. All right. No, we're talking about peeing because we're going to get suspended. Okay. Anyway, British Vogue is a big deal. Not as big as American Vogue, but people, it's important. It's important in the fashion landscape, right? In magazines. So back in 2022, Meghan Markle thought she was going to get the cover for British Vogue. She was friends with the editor at the time, Edward Enninful, Enninful. It's kind of like the Mississippi thing. Enni. Okay, Edward Enninful. So there was some sort of, she just thought she was getting the cover. He was putting together a piece on her. They were all really excited, but he had his own cover in mind. As they got closer to doing the story and all that, they had a whole blow up because she was basically like, I thought I was going to get the cover. And he was like, I never said that. I know what we're going to put on the cover. I know what we're going to move, you know, what we're going to do to move magazines here. They had a little tiff. She got pissed that she wasn't getting put on the cover. Stop talking to him. Stop talking to him altogether. It's not the worst thing in the world. But don't act like, oh, this is a friend of mine. Like, to me, if you're going to call somebody a friend, that is somebody that you are connected with for a really long time. 20 years, 30, 40 years, 50 years. Those are friends. Other people are just acquaintances, especially in Hollywood and British royalty and all this shit. There's just people who float. They're acquaintances, you know? If you mix business with pleasure, that's a whole different thing. But you're in a situation where the guy doesn't want to give you the cover. And then you ice him out and stop talking to him. Asshole. Like, you're an asshole. And also, you're not as big as you think you are. You know, that's her main problem. She thinks she's huge. She thinks, oh, she's doing some, you know, charity work. This is going to be the cover of British Vogue. Like, he put a supermodel on the cover. Well, it's Vogue. What else are they going to do? You know? So that was one instance. Second instance was going back to their wedding when she was marrying Harry, right? So this is going back a number of years. And again, this is all part of this new book by Katie Nicholl, The New Royals. She gave a piece of it to the Daily Mail, and they published this just yesterday, where basically going up to the wedding, they were at Windsor Castle for a menu tasting. And Meghan wound up having a really tense exchange with one of the members of the royal staff and kind of blew up on them because they made a dish. She wanted them to make a total vegan dish, and she could have sworn that she tasted eggs in this dish. And she was berating the staffer, saying that she could taste egg. She could taste egg. And apparently got so out of control that the queen had to walk in and calm her down and said to her, and I quote, Meghan, in this family, we don't speak to people like that. So this is what firsthand sources told Nichols, and that's why she put it in the book. She got quite upset, saying that the dish was meant to be vegan and macrobiotic. At the time, this was 2019, she was out there like, oh, I live a healthy lifestyle and I'm eating vegan and all that stuff. Meanwhile, you know, months later, she's tweeting with Harry, like, I would eat cheeseburgers with you and all this other stuff, because it was all a line of bullshit. It was all just another long line of crazy town where she's like, oh, I'm a vegan and I'm eating healthy, so I got to have macrobiotics at the wedding. And then she's screaming at some poor staffer that there's eggs in the dish, like a fucking nut job. You know, but it was like anything else. It was just a phase. Like, it was just an insane, you know, Jay Sabs, do you know any like purely crazy people? Like, just fucking
Absolutely.
Okay. I know this crazy person, and how I know them
Sounds like you're
it,
talking about me. Go ahead.
it's fine. Yes. How I know them is we've been friends since college, basically, right after college. And I played
Okay.
cards with her brother, is basically no. How I know them is there was a little bit through radio, and then we worked on a project we each worked with a mutual person on a project, right? So I've been just keeping track of
Right.
this person. And they brought up like an anniversary not that long ago, and I was just like, I can't believe these people have sat through all those levels of crazy with this person. Like I know a couple of the people that just would do the crazy, just one day they're this and the next day they're that, and they're always a victim, and they're always it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
this one crazy fucking
Yep.
thing after the next. And I look at Meghan Markle and I go, she's the same thing as these other people I know. It's just what bit of insanity am I going to come up with this month, and who's going to buy it and put up with my shit?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you can tell, like, I don't doubt that the royal family probably was a little rude or curt to her, but I feel like that, you're going to get a little bit of that no matter what family you go into.
Woo, yep.
You know what I mean? Like, there's always this ability of we got to test out the new person and make sure that they can hang. You know,
Right.
so that you're going to get in any family no matter what. But I also think when the person coming in is a total asshole and a weirdo, you're definitely going to get like that pushback from the family that they're just never going to be that accepting of it all.
Right.
And they're probably going to give you a harder time, you know? And you got to be able to recognize the crazy in yourself. Like there's no, like I'm drinking like 7 things of water in a day, right? This is my new thing. I'm trying to just be a little healthier. I'm fucking drinking water like crazy. I'm drinking so much water, I think it's making me sick, you know? And I know that this is my crazy thing right now. It's like
Right.
if I turned the whole podcast into the water drinking fucking thing, or I was just texting Janine about, hey, did you drink your water? You know, everybody would be like, shut the fuck up. Stop being, you know, I know I'm
Be
not going to give
normal,
a shit.
dude.
Yeah, I'm not going to give a shit about water 6 months from now. You know, I'm going to lose 3 pounds finally, feel better about that. And then I'm going to gain 7 more later. But I'm going to be like, remember that good time when I was down 3 pounds?
From drinking
So
80 ounces of water and being nauseous from it.
exactly. Drinking water like crazy. Just fucking pounding water. I got up 4 times last night just to pee. I drank so
See,
much
now you
fucking water.
you have to stop drinking water by like 7 o'clock. Mm,
Yeah, is that the time? 7? That's a good time.
yeah.
I should
Yeah.
maybe do that. I was up. I got up and then I got up an hour later just to pee. I drank so much fucking water.
Oh, that's
It was
annoying.
It was nuts. I do not like getting old. This is, you know, I don't know about you, but I'm not aging well.
No.
It's not going down good. I'm talking to you. You just got back from a week in Disney. How are you fucking doing? I was mentally and physically exhausted after we got back from a week in Disney.
Well, it wouldn't have been so bad if my daughter didn't wake up yesterday with a stomach virus and literally threw up all day long.
Oh, no, really? When did you get back? Sunday?
No, I got back Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday night. Okay.
And like, oh God, that was another whole ordeal because you can't take an Uber from JFK anymore, from Terminal 5. You have to get on the air train and go to Howard Beach and get off there.
Oh, your kid, they won't let Ubers go to Terminal 5?
Nope. And
Why?
they say construction, but like we didn't really know that. So like, all right, I don't know when the last time you took JetBlue from JFK or not.
I flew JetBlue out of MacArthur last time, not from JFK.
So it's always a pain because when you get your baggage, you can't go straight out. You kind of have to walk and go through like this walkway, and then you have to go downstairs and get the Uber. And you know, that was annoying in itself. It's about a 10-12 minute walk, right? Really, it really is. Well, we see signs and it says for rideshare apps, pickups, you have to go to Howard Beach Air Train. I'm like, no, there's no way. So I'm looking and I'm like, told my husband, I'm like, we have to go to Howard Beach. We have to get on the air train. He's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, okay. So then, sure enough, it's 5 stops from the terminal. You get off at the air train. It opens up, and you're outside in this just big parking lot. And I'm like, now what? Because I told my mother to come pick us up from there then, because I'm like, she's right there. So, but the thing is, and I actually was still trying to find this out today. I don't think you can get to that spot unless you're in the airport. The air
Really?
train. Yeah, the air train part.
Okay.
So we MTA people had to let us in so we wouldn't have to pay for the actual A train. Walk down, cross over, take an elevator up, take an elevator down to the other side, and then we're out like on the street, like like where the stores are.
Mm-hmm.
Finally. But it was just so annoying because I'm like, people don't know this. So, okay, I was okay with it because I'm familiar with that station. What about people who are they have no idea? They don't live in New York.
Yeah. Or it's the Howard Beach station.
Yep.
What about the non-whites? Think about
Right.
them.
Have you been to Howard Beach lately? Or
It's not like it was back in the day.
I'm not
Are they
kidding. It was very shady over there.
are they becoming more diverse? They need that.
When's the last time you've been there?
It's been a long time. I've avoided it. You know, it's so bizarre to me when people go to places that we grew up with and they're on the internet and they're like, look at how great this is.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you're,
no.
and you're just like, the fuck? I saw a video the other day when they were like, this woman was like, here's what to do as soon as you land in jail. I think we even talked about this. Like, here's what you do. Hop on the A train, go to Howard Beach, take the thing and,
For
or
what?
take the air train to the A train and then and I'm like, I'm like, this is a tip from an Instagram influencer. I'm like, when we were growing up, you avoided getting on the A train at all costs. You just did not get on that train unless you absolutely had to.
I hate to say it, it's like that now again.
Is it bad again?
Yeah, and like I said, it was
When was it ever
really.
good? The A train was
No, never.
The A train was never good.
And I took that to work every single day.
Horrible.
I can't. It was very shady around there. My mother told me that is something always is going on. They beat up the MTA worker there last year, so not good. No joke. There was like 6 cops in the station just walking around.
Yeah,
So
that's.
shit must go down there.
And you know what it is? Most people, the people with money, just hop in their Ubers or whatever. They get arranged cars and shit like that. So they
See,
never
that's
see
the whole
these
thing.
things.
So even if you want not even an Uber, like a car service to come pick you up, you have to get on the air train and go to you have to go to like the central terminal. So you
Yeah,
can't.
that's crazy.
But
You should be able
I did read a hack today on Reddit. You go across the street to the TWA hotel and get an Uber from there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right there, right? Because what was that, 6? That was Terminal 6,
5.
TWA? Oh, TWA is Terminal 5? Oh, right. That was the old terminal building, and they built a new one, right?
So yeah, but people were pissed because they were like, these people must have came just from Europe. They had about 6 bags between them, and they had to get on the air train. They didn't know where they were going.
Yeah, people getting on with, how many robberies do you think we just never hear about ever? Like that's,
Yeah. Has
again,
to.
it's so weird that we grew up and it was like you avoid this train at all costs. And now people are like, this is how you get to Manhattan from JFK.
Yeah, no, I would not.
Everybody just jump on board. It's like, it's just so, it goes back to the pizza people too. You got to come to New Park for the pizza. You got like reviewing the New Park. I'm like, it's just so weird. We took all that stuff we either took it for granted or we were just like, that place sucks. You got to go to this place. And now these are like, people are like getting content boosts off of this stuff. It's so weird.
It was frustrating because And I did look. It was in my email, but the thing was, it was all the way at the bottom, and it wasn't like they should have made like a bigger deal about it. They should have put it in bold. It should have been the first sentence. Hey, if you're using this, and you know what really sucks is this happened. It started on May 6th, so it just happened.
Oh, that sucks.
And it's going to go through the summer.
That totally sucks. So
So
why was she throwing up? Because she had to go on the A train? That would make me want to vomit too.
no, she didn't get on the A train. She got on the. I think because they kept touching stuff and like touching the buttons, all going up the escalator. Blah. Put your hands in your mouth. I screamed, "Use hand sanitizer!"
Oh, they're so gross. They're so gross.
Real quick before I go, because I think you would enjoy this part. And I saved it for the pod.
Love it.
So when we left from New York, JetBlue has kind of like this rule. So I picked blue seats, right? And those seats you cannot pick. They pick them for you. But if you're traveling with family, then they have to sit you together, right? So it's cheaper, but they have to sit you together. Fine. So our seats were picked, and it was 3 in a row together, and then 1 in the same row, but on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband was like, "Oh, you want to sit with them? Okay, fine." I'm like, "Oh," I was like, mother. So I sat with them, and Catano sits down. Next to him sits this woman, older woman. You could tell she was really annoying. So next to her was a dad with a little crying baby the entire flight.
Oh.
Towards the end of the flight, so I looked at him and I went, "Ha ha." Towards the end of the flight, the baby throws up.
No.
And it wasn't just liquid, it was all over all over. Ugh. So I was like, "Can you smell that?" And right away I took out my hand sanitizer and put it underneath my nose. Really, because I can't take the smell. Throw up. So the dad, I felt bad for him. He was holding the baby. It was all over him. So now I'm talking to my kids, and then all of a sudden I look back at to Gaetano, next to him. The dad's shirt is off because he was covered in it and he had to take it off. And I was like, "Thank you, throw up. Thank you." I wrote to Gaetano, "Thank you, throw up."
Why? Because he was a hot dad?
Let me tell you something. I didn't mind looking at his arms at all.
Oh my God, I'd be so mad at you if I was your husband right now.
It was just funny, but I was like, "See, that's what you get. That's what you get." So
Wait, was the mom on the flight or he was traveling solo?
she was, but she was sitting a couple of rows ahead, so she had to come back and give him the shirt. And I just kept laughing. I almost took a picture of him with his shirt off, but then I was like, "Oh, he's gonna know," because we were in the same row. And then the baby was very cute, and it was a boy, and it kept looking at my husband and just making noises. And I was like, "Oh, he likes you." Tried to start conversation with the dad. Of course, he obliged. And also my daughter says that I always talk to strangers, the little one.
You do. That's true.
I do.
Yeah. Make
And
a
I'm like,
friend.
"Well, they always talk to me, so what do you want?"
How many Disney friends did you make down there?
I didn't.
None?
No. I'll tell you why. I wasn't around people long enough because we used the lightning lane. So there was no chance of me online with someone for a long time.
Oh my God. I can't imagine how much you spent on those lightning. How much did you spend on lightning lanes alone? Do you know?
I think 600.
Oh my God. To get on just 2 rides faster. It's basically.
No, we did not wait for any rides at all.
Really?
Yep. Listen, not for nothing. I can't sing. I could dance, but I can't sing. I can do lightning lanes. I'm the fucking master at it. Okay?
Did you get on Tron?
Yeah, I actually did. You're proud of me.
Nice.
Because I don't do big rides.
What does that mean?
I don't do big roller coasters. I don't really like them at all. I'm always scared I'm gonna get sick from them. And technically, Tron's not like a real roller. Well, it is, but it's not one that goes upside down or whatever. But anyway, I did that, and my daughter did every single ride except Tron because she was an inch too short.
Oh,
So she definitely has more balls than me because she did Guardians, and I did not do it this time. Last
you
time
didn't
I
do
did it.
Guardians?
No, I don't like it.
Did the three of them go without you?
The little one didn't want to do it, so just my husband and Eliana.
I can't believe you didn't go. Oh my God, that's the
I
best
don't-
ride.
I don't like it.
Oh, I loved it. Oh, can't believe you don't like that ride. What? So, but you enjoyed Tron though?
I did.
That goes just as fast.
No, it's not. It's not about going fast. It's about spinning, and Guardians spun me
Oh,
too much.
Guardian spins. Yeah, that's a big thing.
So, which here's also the difference. You went in December when it wasn't 97 degrees because it was literally 97 degrees from Wednesday to Saturday.
Wow.
And I can't imagine waiting. Honestly, I would have got, because there was a few times I felt sick, like not from the rides, but from the heat. And I had my cooling towels. I had all the stuff. You, Anthony, you have to. Listen to me.
Cooling towel. Did you order them on Amazon?
No, I had them already.
Oh, okay.
You, with all that hair on your body, you wouldn't last an hour.
I don't know, but a cooling towel? I mean, I guess so. I know you don't like heat. I get it.
Everybody uses them in the park. I did not get the fan. I didn't get the fan. I should have probably, but
That's where I could see you. That hat with the little fans pointing
God,
in.
no.
I can see that.
The cooling towel is the best. You bring a cooler bag. You put ice in it. You put your Gatorade in it, and then you put the cooling towels right in the Ziploc bag with the ice. Oh, it's amazing feeling. So just imagine if you went in now when it's 97 degrees. Could you have waited outside in that blazing sun?
No, probably not.
For 45 minutes.
I did Universal in the dead of summer. That was not that great. Sweating a lot there.
Yeah. You have to know how to use the lightning lane the right way. And let me tell you, I'm going to do a YouTube on it because let me tell you something.
I don't know. I tend to have respect to people that work around the lightning lane and still get on every ride that they need to get on for a week.
I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting 65 minutes for a ride. There's no way. When you went, you waited that long, right?
No. Not. No, I don't think we had anything over 65 minutes. We did get caught on the not as exciting Avatar ride. We did wait longer than we should have for that ride. But that was like at the end of the day, like we were just like, oh, let's sneak it was like a 40-minute wait. We were like, oh, this will probably go quicker than 40 minutes. And it actually took longer.
See, that's why I would be pissed off too. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to wait for that Avatar ride I wouldn't even wait 20 minutes for that one. Forget about it.
I know. It was stupid. It was like we were there. It was the last thing we had to do. It was weird. But every other ride that we wanted to get on, we got on first thing in the morning. After
that's the other thing. You guys did it really early. We did not do that.
Yeah.
I thought maybe we would try that this time, but no way.
But you don't have the early risers like I got. Well, my kids are up early. Your kids aren't up early.
No. I had to beg them to get up at 8:30.
How were they staying up late, or were they like at 7, 8 o'clock ready to just go to sleep for the day?
Oh God, no! They stayed up till 11:30, 12.
Holy shit! And then you got them up the next. Well, you didn't get them up too early,
right?
Yeah. All right. What was the best? Well, as you get ready to answer this question on what the best meal was down there, Fly NY has gifted another membership. I think because Bird is celebrating 38 months being an AOA hole and a member. You could join with the link in the description below. Do that right now. Click on that link. You might be the first one to get to the Fly NY membership. Fly NY is so generous, always gifting memberships. If you don't get there, just join. You can do it for as low as $2.99. I think there's a $6.99 tier. There's a $19.99 tier. All totally affordable. All helps us maintain the costs of doing the podcast here. So head on over and become a member, get some exclusive info, get some behind the scenes looking stuff, some fun shit, you know. Like if Janine would have taken a picture of the stranger with his shirt off in the middle of an airplane, that's something we would have put on the members only area for everybody to see, you know.
Right. There you go.
So next time. But anyway, what was the best thing you ate? What were the best meals?
Um,
And also, Paul wants to know: are your kids on leashes? Are you leash mom?
No.
Okay. I think that's horrible too. I put those little zap collars on my kids, so if they just wander away too far, they get zapped. They come closer. I wouldn't put them on a leash. That's degrading.
Right. They're in strollers. There's no way that they could even walk that either.
Did you take them in strollers?
Absolutely. It's a perfect service. They drop their strollers off at your hotel and they pick it up whenever day you want them to pick it up. So much easier. Yeah, there's no way I could have something. I have a bad back, so there's no way I could have carried stuff on me, you know? Like, what was I going to say?
Food.
I have to say Disney Springs has the best food.
Hands down.
We tried Polite Pig.
Oh yeah, that was the one you were looking forward to the most.
And the Chef Art Homecoming.
Yeah, that's my guy. Homecoming's my spot. Did you go there last time or you went to the other place?
I went to the other place last time, and this time I went to Homecoming, and I have to say it was really good.
Was that your first time at Homecoming?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, what'd you have? I think that guy's immensely talented. That's a perfect menu almost.
I had this because Gaetano got the fried chicken, and I wanted to try that. I had the buffalo chicken sandwich, and let me tell you something. One of the best ones I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, really?
Yep, because cut coming. Because it was not dry at all.
Yeah.
Just it was good. I had a watermelon margarita there.
Ooh.
Very good. It's just good there. That's it. I honestly, if I could, I would go every night to dinner there someplace.
Yeah, me too. Did you do the mac and cheese at Chef Art's?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it's good, right?
It is.
I'm a big fan of it. What did roommate get? Did he got the fried chicken and waffles or just the fried chicken?
Just the fried chicken.
Okay.
Also very good.
They have like a fried chicken and donut thing there too, I think.
That's what he got.
Oh, that's what he got? Yeah.
Wait, did he get that? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I have a picture of it. Hold on.
Picture for the members only area?
Yeah, there you go.
What? Text on over, baby.
Let's see.
Chef Art Smith's cook coming. That's hard to say. Oh, receive the photograph. All right, let's see. See this meal here. Yep, those are donuts. Oh, that looks good. Is that what your kids had? What did your kids have?
One got a grilled cheese and the other one got chicken strips.
And it came with the donut.
Yep.
Yeah, that's I mean, listen.
And our server was from Long Island.
Oh, really?
So he gave them the donuts.
I'm so glad you took this photo because this might be your child's greatest memory. I mean, think about it. A week in Disney and they give you your chicken fingers and fries and there's a fucking donut on the plate.
Yeah, she's such a lucky little bitch.
As a kid, what could be better than that? When we were growing up, did anybody ever just accidentally put a donut on our dinner plate?
Never.
Yeah, this food looks good. I think he got the chicken and biscuits.
Yeah, that's it.
Or just the fried chicken, maybe. Yeah, this all looks good.
You ate there last time?
No, I don't think we. No, I don't think we did. No, but we did the time before that we went to go visit my parents. We did steal over there for a day, and we ate there. It was good.
I do remember that.
We've
See?
eaten there twice, I think. We ate there the other time we went for a long time, but it was just first opened. And then we've gone maybe even 3 times. I don't know, because whenever we visit the parents and we get like a day at downtown Disney, we try and go there.
Right.
Or we try and go other places, but we always wind up back there because it's just so fucking good.
It is good. But Polite Pig was very good too.
Would you have a polite pig?
We had like some.
Your front door is unlocked.
Oh.
The front door is unlocked. Somebody's breaking into your house, Janine. This episode finally got exciting.
What did we? We had like this, like the barbecue sampler. Oh my god, it was very good. Yeah,
I have to think that any barbecue place's most popular dish is the sampler. We like to sample barbecue.
exactly.
That's definitely a thing. We have trouble committing to barbecue dishes, but samplers are they're delightful for everybody.
Right. Well, on that note,
All right,
I
go
don't want to
ahead.
listen to your Last of Us season 2, episode 6, because I'm gonna have to start watching it. So thank you very much for your input.
You're welcome.
And yeah, I'll talk to you and not answer your message about hanging out in a park soon.
Canceling that, by the way, J Sabs. So I'll fill you in after.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Because I'll tell you why.
Okay, bye.
All right. There's J Sabs, everybody. Exciting week in Walt Disney World. And the polite pig and everything else. I got the photo of Chef Art Smith's homecoming meal. Gonna put that in the members only area in just a second. Let's move it on over to, let's do quickly the Boebert Kid Rock. I've never wanted something to be more true in my entire life. Page 6 rumor, take that for what it is. Just putting it out there. I have not read the article, just so you know. I will read it with you together. Headline is, I stopped at the headline. This is one of those stopped at the headline stories. I feel like we need to call that something. The headline is, Rep. Lauren Boebert and Kid Rock reignite dating rumors with cozy rodeo pic. Oh my God. The politician was photographed smiling with Kid Rock at his side at the Rock and Rodeo Saturday evening on a photo posted to X. Whose X was this? I don't even know. Commentator Dana Loesch shared the snap in which Kid Rock posed with his arms around Boebert. He's got his arms around her too, to be fair. Last night, Dana captioned, which also included husband Chris Loesch. Nobody cares. One social media user speculated that the foursome was on a double date, while another asks, so are they together? Boebert, 38, grinned in a brown dress and a matching hat, blah, blah, blah. Grammy nominee, blah, blah, blah. The performer kept a low profile, raps for Kid Rock, and did not immediately comment to page 6. The duo's outing comes, this is what I was looking for, 3 months after they made headlines for getting into a cab together in Washington, D.C. at 2:30 in the morning. I don't remember that. Do you remember that? The pair had been celebrating President Trump's inauguration, with TMZ releasing the footage of them chatting. A 2:30 in the morning cab? Hell yeah, somebody got it that night. Lauren was totally transfixed by the rock star, yapping away, doing a little dance and clapping like she was front row at his concert, TMZ reported back in February. The source claimed that at the time, Boebert was basically giving Kid Rock all the hype he needed. Her press secretary told Page 6 the former Shooter's Grill owner now pass on providing comment on the nature of the taxi ride. Of course. Boebert notably filed for divorce from her husband, Jason Boebert, in 2023. After 18 years of marriage that same year, she went viral for getting booted from a Beetlejuice performance when she got felt up by that other dude. Kid Rock, for his part, reportedly called it quits with longtime fiance Audrey Berry earlier this year. Oh, man, she's definitely banging Kid Rock. That's so exciting. This is going to be, again, we don't get a chance to have a royal wedding in this country. This is the closest we are ever going to get So what if it's in a trailer park? Okay. So what if there's a shotgun? So what if there's an uncomfortable amount of Confederate flags in the crowd? We have to look past a lot of the things we shouldn't be looking past just to make sure we get this royal white trash American wedding. This will be so great. And let's be honest, remember Budweiser sacrificed, right? They brought the trans girl in and then they lost a whole bunch of business. If Lauren Boebert and Kid Rock got married, that would be an instant boost to Budweiser sales instantly. They would be the official beer of the wedding. They'd be wearing those cardboard Budweiser hats that they sell in fucking Walmart and shit like that. Like they would make commemorative cans, like they do for every 4th of July. It would be the most American thing to happen to America since 4th of July. I think it would be the next national holiday, Boebert Rock Day. It would be amazing. There would be nothing that we wouldn't love about this. Best man, maid of honor, cousins fighting with each other. You know what I'm saying? There's who's shooting firecrackers out of their asshole in the driveway, who gets into the ATV accident. You know what I'm saying? Think of all the possibilities and the endless amount of content if we got what equates to an American royal wedding, Kid Rock and Lauren Boebert. It would just be fantastic. I've never wanted anything more in my entire life. It would be good for America. It'd be good for the economy. It would be good for trailer park sales. It would be good for everybody. It would be good for everybody. And so many cowboy hat sales, again, graphic tees at Old Navy. I mean, you name it. The possibilities are endless. They're just endless. Everybody was Ben Affleck and J-Lo. Oh, when are they getting married? They're going to follow the thing. And the country guy and the No Doubt girl. Remember, that was there would be no bigger. Everybody would be going crazy. American Vogue, British Vogue, they would all be going nuts. But it would be a trailer park, the trailer park Picayune. How you say that word? The Trailer Park Times. They would get the scoop. They'd have the photos. They would have it all. It would just be amazing. And that dick who sings Proud to be an American, he would be there singing the fucking thing. Like, I'm here to sing my fucking song. The one song only people know from me. And he would do it and everybody would love it. Trump would get invited. He would go. He would be the big, he'd have the big seat with the thing, the flag thing, the Proud to be an American guy is there. And then they would go get the party started and he'd go up there and press play on YMCA from the iPod. Because you can't get a DJ at a white trash wedding. They don't go for that. They got the iPod. You get your cousin Phil to just fucking put a playlist together, put a wedding playlist together. It's basically, the whole thing is Skinnerd, with another track or two here or there, just kind of snuck in. That's basically how it goes. But it'll be YMCA to get the party started. It'll be a whole big thing. It'll be awesome. Double wides and double Ds. That would be amazing. It would be an open carry wedding. Open bar, open carry. That's how they do it in the trailer parks. That's how it works. They'd be shooting the cans. How many Jack Daniels bottles would be thrown up in the air and shot with a shotgun? Oh my God. Just think of the fun. You get an ambulance on site right away. It's like a sporting event. One ambulance. That ambulance goes, another one comes in its way. Just sitting there waiting to take somebody to the hospital. That's what tends to happen though when you're shooting fireworks out of your asshole. Sometimes you get a little asshole taint burn and you gotta get taken in. Oh my God. But I've never wanted anything more in my life. Let me think about this. What do I want more? Meghan Markle's show to get canceled or the Boebert Rock wedding? I think it's the Boebert Rock wedding. I'm telling you, for as much as I hate that stupid piece of shit, fake motherfucker, and Meghan Markle. That the idea of a wedding, it's so much more positive too, isn't it? New beginnings, new front, just everything, just all the fake flowers everywhere, because they'll last longer. All the bandanas and the different shades of denim in the crowd, the cowboy boots. Oh, just the whole thing would be so wonderful. I just love the whole idea of it. Raising Cane's would cater it, obviously. There'd be a lot of Raising Cane's and Chick-fil-A, KFC, just a lot, they just buffet it all out there. Just get it all out there. Everybody could take what they need, And is this satire right now? I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. I don't really know where reality ends and satire begins at this point. I really don't know. And I don't know if any of us really know anymore, to be totally honest with you, Christella. Yeah, but I'm not kidding about I'm rooting for this wedding more so than I'm rooting for the downfall of Meghan Markle. Because I know that that's going to happen. I'm not sure if these two are ever going to get married, but it would just be so great. Matching tattoos, they're gonna get a America motherfucker matching tattoo with the American flag, or one of the ones where Trump's standing like Rocky, and maybe one of them gets the bald eagle, one of them gets Trump, and then they put their arms together and it looks like the photos together, kind of a thing. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. There's just so much we can do with this. I just think this would be bigger than both Harry and William's wedding. It would be bigger. I mean, I don't even know what else is a huge wedding. What was some of the biggest weddings of all time? I guess Princess Diana's wedding. This would be our royal family wedding. This would be it. This would rival everything else. Have you ever seen a bride come into a wedding on an ATV? It's beautiful. It's magnificent. She's chugging a beer. You know what I'm saying? She smashes the Bud Light on her head before she jumps up there. And they lift the veil. It's the kind of thing that it makes you proud to be an American and proud to be a human, It'd just be so great. And then their kids. Oh, no. Let's hope they don't have kids. Let's hope they do have kids. Because this would basically be the royal family. This is the start of the American royal family. 500 years from now, their great grandchild would be president of the United States, and we would be like, thank God these two got together and saved the republic. Because if not, China would have taken us over. I believe that China would have definitely taken us over. It would be China, and you're going to be surprised when I say this. You might be but the U.S. Virgin Islands. Yeah, I think they rally, revolt, and not only get out their own independence, but they take part of America too. That's what I think. It's nobody sees it coming. The China-U.S. Virgin Islands bond. It's an axis like we've never seen before. Anyway, Last of Us season 2, episode 6 review with spoilers. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, now would be the time to mute. When we pull this off screen, you can come back, but we're basically going to just wrap from here on out. I have to do a review here because I really feel like after watching last night's episode, after watching episode 6, this isn't a spoiler part. This is a non-spoiler feeling for The Last of Us season 2, episode 6. After watching this episode, this is one of the greatest television shows we've ever seen. I've never seen a story just be so complex and on a million things just occurring on a million different levels like we see in this story. And the fact that this was born out of a video game revolving around zombies. I know they're not really zombies. They're fungus people, I guess you could say. But is unbelievable to me. When Frank tried to get me to watch this show and he's like, it's an apocalypse thing, but it's not really. There's feeling. But I was like, I don't know. And then I got to the episode with the two dudes and I was like, oh shit, all right, there really is something here. That's kind of the way they explored that whole relationship was beautiful. Then everything that happens in season 1. And then you get to last night's episode. And this season, only 7 episodes. Next one's the finale. And I'm just watching this and I'm going, there's just so many things happening on so many different levels. I don't know if this is the greatest storytelling we have ever seen on television or via video game or both, or if I'm just at the age now where I'm actually feeling emotions. I don't really know. Those two things might be coinciding as well. I'm not quite sure, but it's really spectacular. And I was a little weary about this season. You know, I was really weary after episode 2 of what they were going to do. And I actually saw people going, I'm not going to watch this show anymore after episode 2. And I feel bad for them, because if you bailed on episode 2 and you weren't there to see how it wound up on episode 6, you have missed out on one of the greatest storytelling moments in the history of humanity. Like, it is crazy good. And even when episode 6 started, I thought they are just going to waste our time with another flashback here. I was actually getting really pissed because I was like, we've seen a lot of flashbacks in this season so far. And I'm like, these are unnecessary. Like, why? Like, just get to the let's get to it. Let's have things happen. And I'm 40 minutes into episode 6 and I look over at my wife and I go, are you crying? And she was. And I'm like, you know, when you get that little eye, I said to my wife, my eyes are burning like around the edges. What does that mean? And she goes, those are feelings. Welcome to humanity. She's like, this is what, like, the conversation, full spoiler alert. Again, spoilers. If you haven't bowed out yet, we're into the spoilers. The conversation between Ellie and Joel going into like that last thing is so fucking unbelievable. I can't even take it. Like, the season, and by the way, they get us in the beginning, right? He's talking to the therapist and he's like, and she's like, you shot my husband. Like, so you know there's some shit going on between Joel and her, and you don't ever find out. And you're like, are we ever going to find out? But then you forget because it's such a throwaway line. And then they bring it back in this episode. And then they tie it into, this is basically how Ellie discovers what Joel did at the end of season 1. And let's not forget, this whole thing anchors on this man who has basically come to adopt this little girl as his daughter. She's basically replacing his real daughter, who he lost at the beginning of this world disease, tragically. And he basically does what every parent says they would do. I would give up the world for my kid. I would do anything for my kid. You know, I would kill 100 people for my kid. You talk about all these things, all these phrases and stuff that we say. All these feelings that we have that we mean. You actually got to see this guy do it. This guy chose this little girl over finding a cure for the worst, most devastating disease. He chose this one little girl's life over millions of other lives. Restoring society as we know it, the possibility of that. He didn't even blink or think twice. As soon as he realized they were going to kill that girl to harvest the cure, he went in and murdered every one of those people that posed a threat to her. The second he found out, lied to the girl about it, and held that secret up until the end of this season, where basically he was unapologetic. This is the most devastating thing to ever hit the planet Earth, and you could have stopped it if you let them use my blood for a cure. And he looked at her like, I would do it all over again. I would not apologize for it. And think about it. This little girl grew up in this world. She didn't have a normal childhood. This Ellie character, and this is the brilliance of the writing. I can't believe this is a video game, this story. She grew up in a world where the world was already crumbled and fallen apart. Imagine being born into the Holocaust. Imagine you're 5 or 6 or 7 and you're in concentration. You're in the Holocaust. That's all you know. Your outlook on the world is so bleak and awful. And that's what this girl is going through. She never gets to feel a sense of normalcy, protection, safety. And Joel provides it as best he can to her, as much as he can. And how we see how he gives the gifts over the course of time, how he just tries to give everything he can to her. And when she realizes that he lied to her, that he betrayed her, all just to save her life. She says, my life would have had meaning. My life's meant nothing. I've had nothing. I'm a child in this post-apocalyptic world. If they would have gotten a cure, my life would have meant something. And you denied me of that. And he looks her right in the eye with tears in his eyes and he goes, I would do it all over again if I could. Talk about exploring the complexities of humanity and human nature. We've never seen a show do it like this. I mean, it's incredible storytelling. And I say the same thing to my wife after every episode. I can't believe this is a fucking video game. I can't believe they wrote this much shit into a zombie killing video game. This source material is so rich with content and story and feelings that it's all out there, and they could still spin it off into a TV show, and they still have people on the edge of their seats. It's incredible. I watched that scene of those two people. Again, we go through all this stuff, full spoilers here. Joel dies in episode 2. Now we're without him. People are like, I'm not watching this fucking shit. Then he comes back in a full flashback sequence for 6, and it explains to us. I mean, just think about that. You're telling a story. You go from the end of one season, you skip 5 years. You pick up episode 1, episode 2, you kill a main character, and then you wait until episode 6 to explain what transpired in those 5 years between season 1 and season 2. And it's the perfect amount of time for us to just fall into this new season and this new world and these feelings, then all of a sudden go, hey, here's all the things you've been missing. And it's done in the most beautiful way. And the fucking acting. I don't know what's better, the writing or the acting. They're so good. They're so convincing. Pedro Pascal and Ellie, I forget what her real name is. They are incredible together. I mean, incredible. It's fucking Gandolfini and Edie Falco all over again. You watch those two in the Whitecap scene of The Sopranos where they're getting divorced and they're arguing in the pool house and everything. It's so fucking powerful. Not since then have I seen two people on screen share a chemistry like this, where you just go through all the feelings they're feeling. It's amazing. We just went through a pandemic. I can't think of what all of us would have gone through to shorten that by a day, by 2 days, by a year. You know, think about this. There's a chance to cure. And the second he finds out they're going to kill her to do that, he murders them all like this. Doesn't think twice about it. Doesn't it? And the way they tied it into his father. When they were showing us that throwback to 83 and how his father treated him and his brother, I'm like, why are they wasting our fucking time? Like, this is so ridiculous. And by the end, I'm like, am I crying? Are these tears? Oh my God. The timing and the ability to just fucking play with your emotions as they're telling a story. Again, I've never seen anything like it with this show. Maybe it's because post-apocalyptic zombies is not really my thing. And again, it's not the thing that keeps you on the show because it's just nothing like that. But I say that because maybe I'm so surprised by it. But it's just every time I watch an episode, I'm like, holy shit, this is great. It's fucking great. And they always mislead you enough. I just think, oh, Pedro Pascal is gone. We're getting Jeffrey Wright I'll trade one amazing actor for another. It's going to be just as good. And we haven't even gotten enough Jeffrey Wright. And you're like, is Ellie going to continue down the path that Joel has taken her to, or is she going to smarten up and forget his revenge and just go be the parent that you've always wanted to be, and that Joel and your parents couldn't be? Parent that protects their baby, that's with them for their whole lives, that takes the safe route, doesn't go out there and take chances, all that stuff. Show is fucking incredible. I mean, it's just incredible. Again, I don't cry. I don't have feelings. And for me to get the eye Bernie thing that's a lot, man. That takes a lot to get me to cry. Takes an awful lot to get me to cry. And that episode 6, spoilers are over, by the way. No more spoilers. Other than episode 6 almost made me cry. I mean, really brought me as close as I've ever been to crying over a fucking television show made from a video game. Again, I still can't believe they've been such great storytellers. I still cannot believe it. Just the fucking writing and everything else. And then they have these little vignettes after the show where they're like, oh, and we explain a little. And I'm like, I can't believe how much of this show was actually just source material for the game. It's unbelievable. They've come a long way with those video games. I'll tell you what. What a jam-packed show. It was a whole big thing. Almost 20 minutes shy of 2 hours. I like that. Feel like we're giving everybody a lot of value out the gate. That's always good. Great to hear from the J-Sabs herself. And good to hear that she paid for every single salad in Disney World. That's important. You don't want to get in trouble with Mickey. That motherfucker, he don't forgive. You think college loan debt is unforgivable. Wait until you cross the mouse. That's really, really bad. So it's good to see that she paid for everything. That's nice. Can't have a J-Sabs in jail either. That wouldn't be good. Unless it was an old man jail. Then it would be great for her. Appreciate all the comments and everything else. Thanks, Merc, for the great show bit. Thanks for all the funny comments. As always, everybody was great this episode. As always, you guys are always the best. Appreciate you as always. Hold on, this is late breaking news to me, but Bird is building a raft and going to Cuba. Let me know when you go, Bird. I would love to raft it over to Cuba. Not like during a storm or anything, but just like when it's really sunny and nice. I'll kill for that. See you guys on Wednesday. We got another show coming up for you. We'll cover the Diddy trial a little bit more. Obviously, we're gonna stay hot on this Kid Rock Lauren Boebert thing. I mean, if a ring is they're seen in public again, we're on that story, people. We're not gonna let you down there. We're gonna cover that to the bitter end.
Show me potato salad.
And end it will in divorce.
Maybe we should go now.
See ya.
Ugh,